Hey guys, today we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do to change your diet radically and usher in possibly the healthiest life you've had yet. I'm JW and this is Silver Sage Reflections. And thank you for your patience. It's been a couple weeks since I posted online, and that was due to having some hernia surgery and some other things that took place over the last couple of weeks, but I'm happy to be back. And actually today we're going to be talking about things that I've done in the past year relative to my diet, nutrition, and how I've changed my thinking around all that. And the results of that, I'm thankful to say, praise God, I'm thankful to say that my labs are stronger and better than they've ever been. But it took a little bit of unlearning what I've learned. This is a request from a buddy of mine named Scott, old college roommate. We've stayed in touch, great man. And he asked me to see if I could share a little bit about what I've done. So here you go. The food pyramid that we grew up with, that the FDA put out there 70s, 80s, and 90s, is actually upside down from what's been proven to many people now to be a truthful, honest way for the body to get the nutrients it needs to heal itself and to usher in the healthiest time frame for you as a person. So let's talk about that if we can. First of all, the food pyramid of what I'll say the 90s, most recent one was that the base of the pyramid, the largest portion, was to be made up of grains. It was suggesting 6 to 11 servings per day. That includes breads, pastas, rice, and cereals. The second level up, vegetables and fruits. They recommend 3 to 5 servings of vegetables and 2 to 4 servings of fruit per day. Third one up, a little bit less, is going to be your dairy products, which they recommend 2 to 3 servings per day. Protein-rich foods, poultry, fish, eggs, and nuts. And at the very top, a very small amount, is what they call fats, oils, and sweets. They tell you to use them sparingly. And what I'm going to go through here is actually an inversion of that, very much so. You know, the model was based on the idea back then that grains, particularly processed grains like white bread and pasta, should form the foundation of a healthy diet, form the basis of most meals. And it recommends only moderate consumption of things like fats. And you're going to find here that I'm going to tell you that the experts now today believe that that is absolutely the worst thing you can do, and that if you actually have a diet reverse of that, you're going to be much better off. So here's the first thing I'd like to do. And 2 of the resources I'm using here, actually 3, are going to be doctors that I have grown to respect, mainly because their advice has proven to be helpful. And that is, number 1, my personal doctor, Dr. Ernst, and he's in the Charlotte area. He is a functional doctor, and he has really helped me in changing my lifestyle to a great degree. And then others that I don't know personally, but I follow online, and they are Dr. Daniel Pompa and Dr. Scott Livingood. So a lot of this is kind of an amalgamation or a blending of what their advice is, and I find it very helpful. So the first thing is incorporate nutrient-dense foods, okay? All right, green leafy vegetables such as spinach and kale for their high fiber and antioxidant content. Healthy fats like avocados, coconut oil, MCT oils help support metabolism and actually keeps you satiated, keeps you from feeling hungry all the time. Quick word. The things that we grew up on, which are referred to now as seed oils, and they include vegetable oils, canola oils, any seed oils, they are actually refined oils and they are horrible for you. So stay away from them and actually migrate towards things of good quality avocado oil, olive oil, if you can find a high quality of that, but even those, sometimes the blends aren't that great, okay, as well as coconut oil. And again, MCT oils. These are great. They're actually good for your body. The more you consume of it, the better actually you are, healthier you can be. Then we have collagen-rich foods such as bone broth and even collagen powder, and that's good for gut health. I learned a lot about gut health. Never knew about this before, but how the gut health actually plays into so many other important components relative to the health function of the body. Apple cider vinegar is a marvelous creation, whenever that was, and that helps regulate blood sugar levels. And then green juices, green powders, those sorts of things to sprinkle in there, which also help boost nutrients. Okay, so that's the first thing, is incorporate nutrient-dense foods. Second thing, and this is probably every bit as important as that, and this is where I saw the most radical change in my life, and quite honestly hardest to do because it took a little bit of a brain shifting for me, and that is reducing your sugar and processed foods. You hear this all the time, but think about this. If you were to Google a picture of the beach in, say, the early 70s, late 60s, and you look at that, you're going to find very few people that were overweight. Now, I hate to say it, but if you took a picture from 2025, kind of same, similar surroundings in a picture, might be a different picture. Our obesity is at an all-time high, and it just is because we have listened to folks that I'm not going to get into why I think they told us what they told us, but between the chemicals and the processed foods, the things that we actually grab because they're easy and convenient are literally killing us. So we need to eliminate any added sugars and processed foods. That helps reduce inflammation and also prevents chronic diseases. Okay, we'll focus on whole foods and natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit if you need to. Big proponent for good old-fashioned raw honey. I think that's a much better sweetener. But anything, the sugars, they are killers. And here's another good rule of thumb. Okay, rule of thumb. When you're going grocery shopping, until you get to a point where you have this down pat and you know exactly where to go, good rule of thumb is stay on the outside or the perimeter of the grocery store. Think about it. When you go into a grocery store, typically around the outside, you've got your vegetables, you got your produce. Then you walk over to your meat counter, okay, and meat's good for you. Not all meat. I would stay away from pork, right? But actually, grass-fed meats of any kind, outside of, again, what I would say pork, but poultry, beef, they're very good for you. And they need to be in my opinion, they need to be a pretty daily part of your diet. But then as you go around, then you have your dairy. But basically, the healthiest part of the grocery store is on the outside. And here's an interesting thought. Why do we have a health food aisle in a grocery store, which, by the way, has more chemicals and everything else, maybe, than some of the stuff out there that we would call not health food? But why do we have one area of health food? Does that imply that the rest of the stuff in the store is not healthy? I don't know, just something to think about. Okay, next thing is you want to practice intermittent fasting. This has been huge, and this is something that's taken a little bit of time for me to adjust to. But now, quite honestly, my stomach can't handle much more than what I would normally eat during a fast. And this is what we mean by a fast. Try and limit the amount of time that you eat, the window that you eat, to no more than about 8 hours. For me, consistently, it's about 12 noon to 8 p.m., and I fast then for 16 hours. What helps me in the morning is I am a coffee drinker. And if the doctor ever told me that I have to stop drinking coffee, I would really have to assess what is worse, the illness or the actual coffee. But try and hold off till 12 noon and just stop eating at 8 o'clock. You can eat pretty much whatever you want in there as long as it comes out of these groups that are healthy. But that 16 hours enables your body to go into what is called ketosis. And this is not a keto diet, so to speak. Ketosis is simply enabling your body to eat its own fat. And also, the other thing is our bodies were not made to digest 3 square meals a day. It's not necessary. It is actually unhealthy. So try and do that 16-hour fast and go from 12 to 8. If you need to cheat a little bit, that's fine. Next thing is stay hydrated and certainly prioritize your sleep. Water's critical. Here's the challenge we have. A lot of our waters today are so fluoridated, and that fluoride is actually a poisonous chemical, another thing that we were told otherwise. So, filtering it, however you can get water that is as pure as you can make it, not right out of the tap. You want to stay hydrated as much as possible. Finally, focus on consistency and simplicity. It's a long game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you think about it this way, if you were working out in the gym, you wouldn't go to a gym on an afternoon and expect that 2 hours later you're going to walk out with a completely different physique. However, if you go to the gym a couple hours several times a week over months, you will start to see a change in that. Very similar to how your diet is. You're probably not going to see immediate results within the first 24, 48, 72 hours, but you need to hold on there because actually starting at about a week and then certainly within 90 days, your body, if given the right nutrient-dense foods, if we take away the things that cause inflammation, such as processed sugars, again, processed foods, the body's an amazing thing. God made us to be able to heal ourselves in many ways. And the body in time, and actually not as long a time as you might think, can start to heal itself. Thank you for watching Silver Sage Reflections. I'm J.W. Williams. If you like this material, please like, share, and subscribe this so other people can benefit from it. And please, if you would, I read every comment. If you could drop a comment in the line, let me know what brought you here, maybe what you agree with, what you disagree with, and also maybe some things that we could that I could consider for future videos, that would be really helpful.